Now on Nightside, they posed as firefighters to rob from wildfire survivors. We now know the names of the suspects law enforcement arrested for looting in Medical Lake.
Today's rain is coming to an end. I'll let you know if there's any sign of the needed wet weather in the first alert forecast.
The state of Idaho now calling into question whether one district's new superintendent could be breaking the law, how the West Bonner School Board is addressing the issue, and the vote that could change the future. You're watching 4 News Now Nightside. Thanks for staying up with us tonight. I'm Kirsten O'Connor. Fire crews are working day and night to control the Gray and Oregon Road fires. Our teams have been gathering updates on these fires all day and, more importantly, meeting the real people they are impacting. We'll hear more of their stories later in this newscast. First, new on Nightside, we have a look inside the emergency school board meeting held in West Bonner County today. The state of Idaho says the West Bonner School District may have broken the law almost 2 months ago. The district hired Superintendent Brandon Durst. Durst ran for Idaho State Superintendent and is a former Idaho representative and Idaho State Senator. The State Board of Education says Durst's lack of certifications puts the district out of compliance. Our Rania Kaur joins us in studio tonight with why the school board's chair says he is not concerned with the certification.
Kirsten, the school board declared an emergency at tonight's board meeting, allowing them to directors to apply for an emergency provisional certificate. As long as he is granted that certificate, Durst can serve as superintendent. It's something the district has already done in the past.
I move that the Board of Trustees of the West Bonner County School District do now declare an emergency.
An emergency based on the current financial status of the West Bonner School District would allow Superintendent Brandon Durst to apply for an emergency provisional certificate to serve as superintendent for the 2023-2024 school year. It's the solution to this letter sent by the Idaho Board of Education to Board Chair Keith Rutledge. The letter details how hiring Durst, who is uncertified, violates Idaho law.
I didn't expect the letter from the Department of Education as far as certification and having a certification when the superintendent takes office. Our last 3 superintendents did not have a certification.
That includes former interim superintendent Susie Lucky, who was granted an emergency provisional certificate for her time as interim.
This is nothing new. The amount of fight or pushback is new.
The fight leading to a vote August 29th to possibly recall both school board chairman Keith Rutledge and vice chair Susan Brown. Rutledge believes Superintendent Durst is bringing upon much needed change to the district.
People are coming to this district because of Superintendent Durst and what he stands for. They're leaving higher paid jobs to come to work in our district.
Jonathan Welch is the dad to a soon-to-be second grader.
Still frustrated, lost for words. It seems like it just gets funnier and funnier and funnier. It's very concerning to be a parent here.
For Welch, the future of the district isn't reflecting what he says he wants for his daughters.
Me growing up in this area, I've always watched the school board be on the side of the students, and right now I'm not seeing that.
The vote to recall the 2 board members is next Tuesday. 4 News Now will keep you up to date on the outcome. For all future and previous coverage of the West Bonner School District, you can click on this story on our website at kxly.com. Kirsten?
Rania, thank you. Well, Spokane County is still in a state of emergency tonight. We're bringing you the very latest information on both the Gray and Oregon Road fires from fire officials tonight. Washington Senator Maria Cantwell toured the wreckage of the Gray fire today. The senator thanking everyone volunteering to help those affected by the Gray fire, as well as the Red Cross and first responders. She acknowledged the significant damage to the infrastructure and homes in Medical Lake, saying, quote, "We will be working with the governor and our federal partners to get federal assistance for the Gray and Oregon Road fire." And new on Nightside, we now know who Spokane County Sheriff's detectives arrested for looting homes in Medical Lake disguised as firefighters. 38-year-old Matthew Parsons and 37-year-old Diane Guerrero, both from Tacoma, are in jail tonight.
People returning to their homes for the first time in 4 days. If you find that your home has been burglarized or has been damaged by something other than fire, I implore you, please call Crime Check. Let us know. We know in this
Sheriff John Knowles emphasized that law enforcement will stay in the area to try to prevent more crimes like this from happening. In that same press conference, it was reported that all missing people have been accounted for in both fires. Law enforcement asking everyone for continued patience when it comes to returning to evacuation sites. Now, new evacuation zones were also announced. On your screen is the latest evacuation map for the Gray Fire, still burning near Medical Lake. This map includes level 3 evacuations near Silver Lake. However, since their latest press briefing, Spokane County Emergency Management posted to their Facebook page saying there are no longer level 3 evacuations in place and they were working to resolve a problem with their alerting system. Any new changes we hear about will be on KXLY.com. The Gray Fire is now 25% contained, and the recent weather change has played a role in helping crews fight this fire, which has been burning since Friday.
So folks are moving back in there. On the firefighting front, things are looking really good. They're out there continuing to look for hot spots and everything. As you mentioned, this weather is great for us and great for firefighting because it just helps us out.
Firefighters will continue to work on hot spots and survey areas where homes and buildings have been lost. There will be a community meeting in Medical Lake tomorrow to answer questions for neighbors. The meeting will be held in the auditorium of Medical Lake High School at 7 p.m. Several officials will be there to answer questions related to public safety and fire management. The Medical Lake Library will now be open 6 days a week, offering support and services to everyone in the West Plains community. It is staying open Monday through Saturday. People can use Wi-Fi, reserve computers, and library staff can help connect families with local and statewide resources. It is normal for kids to ask questions following a natural disaster, and that's why the library created a new book list called Let's Talk About Wildfires. Each one of these books covers topics like wildfire recovery. Turning our focus now to North Spokane County. Leave now evacuation orders are still in place for many homes near Elk. As you can see on your screen in red, level 1 or get ready orders in green were added today. The Oregon Road fire has burned over 11,000 acres and still shows no sign of containment. Members of the community are donating food and supplies like pots, pans, bedding, and linens for their neighbors. One man who lost his home says donations like these are signs of a resilient community.
Every little thing that everybody has done is an absolute blessing. I mean, people that don't live here don't realize how strong this community is. And when stuff like this happens, everybody is just doing everything they can to help each other. And it makes you proud to be a part of it.
Today's rainfall was good news for a lot of firefighters working to control the Oregon Road fire. Important to note, though, when it rains a lot, it also gets muddy, which can be a safety concern for crews. This video shows a plane scooping water from Diamond Lake to drop on the Oregon Road fire yesterday. Water drops are a big help for those fire crews working in rough terrain. And Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker's been tracking our rain today and our improvements to air quality.
Yes, and unfortunately, both of those things have taken a little bit of a step back. Our last showers have come to an end across the region, and we are drying out tonight. Meanwhile, here's a look at some of the rainfall totals that we've had over the past 24 hours. I don't know why that disappeared, but we had almost 0.4 of an inch officially in Spokane. Deer Park had over a ½ inch. It's almost the heaviest totals were right along the fire lines. We had even more down in Medical Lake, almost 0.6 of an inch in Lewiston. Meanwhile, it was dry today in Winthrop as well as Wenatchee. We had managed to get into the good range in our air quality for a short period. We've stepped back into that unhealthy for sensitive group range for Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, a good portion of the region under the moderate range. However, I do think we are going to see some improvement. A southwesterly flow developing overnight is going to help to push some of that wildfire smoke, disperse it, I should say, not just pushing it to our neighbors to the north, but spreading it higher into the atmosphere. So that should improve our air quality for Wednesday, hoping for a mostly green day in some locations. But of course, a lot of that will depend on the fire behavior itself here locally. It is going to be warmer. After a cool start to the day today, we are going to be heading up to a high temperature tomorrow of 77 degrees. 82 is our average high, hopefully with some blue skies tomorrow, but expect at least some haze, especially in the morning. I will be back to tell you about 2 more chances in the 7-day forecast to get at least a little bit of rain. That's in just a few minutes. Kirsten.
All right, thank you, Chris. Time for a look at First Sports. I'm Julian Minnesone. The 4 remaining Pac-12 schools are still figuring out their next move. The ACC canceled its meeting to discuss conference expansion this morning. Stanford and Cal have been part of these conversations to possibly join the ACC over the last few weeks. Stanford and Cal fell 1 vote shy of joining the ACC during last week's vote. This is expected to be a talking point among ACC presidents moving forward. TV revenue distribution and travel costs have been bumps in the road during these discussions. And just because it doesn't happen now doesn't mean it won't for Stanford and Cal to possibly join the ACC over rebuilding, let's say, the Pac-12. Live in the studio, Julian Minnesone, 4 News Now Sports.
Julian, thank you. We have much more news on Nightside after the break, including the aftermath of Tropical Storm Hillary, now posing a threat to many summer crops. Next on Nightside.
4 News Now on your time with Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
4 News Now is brought to you by Floor Trader Outlet.
Send them back to school looking and seeing their best. Get premium eyewear and A+ patient care from the experienced team at Shopko Optical. Cross off eye exams on your back-to-school checklist. Schedule their comprehensive exam today.
Hi, I'm Ken.
And I'm Donnie.
We lead the Advocates.
The Advocates fight for each of our injured clients. We take on big insurance and get big results.
We're both advocates, but we're very different from each other.
That's true.
I say potato, she says...
Potato.
Oh, I guess we're the same there.
Potato. Do people say that a different way?
Potato.
Who says it that way?
Never mind. Injured? You deserve an advocate.
Pop the champagne, humanity. We've done it.
Celebrate your night with big winners, shocking thrills, and living legends.
You know, I've always thought of you as Dave Jr.
Every hair on my body is standing up right now.
Jimmy Kimmel Live, weeknights on ABC.
I'm Mark Peterson, the Extreme Team at Horizon Credit Union, ready to take on the next task. If you know of a project that needs an Extreme Team makeover, go to KXOY.com to nominate it. 4 News Now Extreme Team brought to you by Horizon Credit Union.
It's safe to say that a great day's work starts with a great night's sleep. So no matter what kind of job you have, Denver Mattress has the right mattress for you. So shop the Labor Day sale today, because the more you buy, the more you save. Save $100 on every $1,000 you spend. Save up to $900 on purple adjustable mattress sets and score a $300 gift. Or check out the Summit Firm, now only $299.99. Plus 4 years no interest and free shipping. Denver Mattress, the easiest way to get the right mattress.
What you see is important. That makes quality eye care important too. Get personalized care from experienced optometrists at Shopko Optical. Better eye care. You'll see. Shopko Optical welcomes more insurance plans than ever. Call to book an exam and verify coverage.
Live with Kelly and Mark every weekday morning.
Thanks for staying up with Nightside. Tropical Storm Hillary bringing wet weather to the West Coast this week. This heavy rainfall could impact crops in California. One farm owner is making sure he has peaches to sell this summer. Vince Ibarra has the story.
The weather this year has been more than unusual. I mean, a hurricane in the middle of August.
After a wet weekend caused by what was once Hurricane Hillary, more rain hit the North Valley on Monday. Professor Bob Geyer at Merced College says a major storm could have been catastrophic.
we were very lucky here in the valley. And particularly watching the radar on a daily basis and seeing that we were just on the edge. So our guys here in the valley were really fortunate.
On this leaf here, you can see some of the spray material.
Craig Arnold is a co-owner of Arnold Farms in Atwater. He was nervous about the storm system before it ever arrived.
Once we were pretty certain we were going to get some water, our big concern became the peaches, which are getting pretty close to ripeness. If they're left unprotected, we have a big risk of brown rot.
That's why the company paid thousands of dollars to hire a helicopter seen here on Saturday. It released fungicide on some 1,000 acres at Arnold Farms to protect the summer crop of peaches. The crew also put up sticks to hold trees in place as the rain and wind ripped through the area.
Well, it was once a tropical storm, but has now been downgraded to a depression. Harold had wind whipping along the Texas coast today. Portions of southern Texas are in line for heavy rain with isolated flash flooding. That's happening tonight, and they could even have tornadoes with this system. 20,000 customers in the state have lost power. So much to cover in the weather department across the country this week, Chris.
Yes, it has been a very busy week. We've gotten a little bit of that Hillary, just a tiny bit, but now we are going to go back to pretty quiet weather. Let's start off with our air quality. We are in the unhealthy for sensitive groups range in Spokane County, but just barely at 106. I suspect we're going to spend most of the day in that moderate to good range, but there are a lot of fires burning across the entire region, not just in the inland northwest, and just about anywhere the wind blows, you're going to tap into some wildfire smoke. 52 for an overnight low tonight. The clouds will be decreasing as the night goes on. Tomorrow should be clear skies in terms of clouds. Hopefully we'll be able to see some sunshine. That high of 77 running below average. Wind gusts up to 20 miles per hour out of the southwest. That southwesterly wind is going to help disperse some of our smoke, but there are also some fires down in Oregon in the Central Basin, so we may see some smoke coming up from those fires. Here is a broad picture of what's going on with our weather patterns. Starting off at our current time, area of low pressure is making its way across Canada and taking the precipitation along with it. We will be in that west-southwesterly flow tomorrow, hopefully bringing in some fresh air and not too much of the wildfire smoke from our south. By Thursday, more of a southerly flow, and that's where we're really going to start to see our temperatures increase. Eventually, there's our one chance to see a little bit of rain on Friday. It's not a very good chance, but there is a chance to see a little bit of light rain, and we have another chance with better odds later in the 7-day forecast. First tonight, this is good news for firefighters. Overnight lows will be in the 40s and lower 50s in most locations. Pretty decent sleeping weather, but I don't know if tonight I would keep the windows open or not. It's right on the edge. Wednesday's highs will be in the 70s and lower 80s, running a bit below average, but we'll be right up around average by Thursday. 82 and sunny. There's that slight chance of showers really warming up for the weekend. 93 degrees on Sunday, 95 Monday, and then we cool down for Tuesday with our next chance of rain, a 30% chance of rain Monday night and into Tuesday. Kirsten.
Thank you, Chris. Brian Koberger, the man suspected of murdering 4 University of Idaho students last year, will be back in court tomorrow. The status conference hearing will check in with attorneys to see if they can meet certain deadlines leading up to the scheduled trial in early October. At this point, it is still possible Koberger could waive his right to a speedy trial. 4 News Now will have a crew there tomorrow, and we'll have a report at 5 and 6 o'clock. Coming up after the break, in a stressful evacuation, you may not remember or have time to grab all the essentials like your medications. See how the Red Cross is making sure evacuees are staying safe and healthy.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app.
Fresh produce is the best produce. That's why at Fred Meyer, we invest in local farmers to bring you the freshest seasonal picks. So no matter how you shop, your local produce always tastes as fresh as it gets. Fred Meyer, fresh for everyone.
This is your summer to smile, to raise your glass and reconnect, to reel in the fun and serve up great times. To help you get ready, your Aspen Dental team is celebrating 25 years of affordable care with an epic Summer of Smiles event. Right now, new patients without insurance get a free full exam and x-rays. Plus, everyone can get 20% off their treatment plan. But hurry, because while these summer savings won't last, the memories you make together will. Aspen Dental. Book today.
August 30th through September 4th, the 42nd Annual Pig Out in the Park returns to Riverfront Park in Spokane, Washington. Free admission, 64 food booths, 275 menu items, 4 adult beverage gardens, 107 free concerts on 4 stages. Headliners include Too Slim and the Tail Draggers, Samantha Fish featuring Jesse Dalton, Digital Underground, and BCDC's AC/DC Tribute. For a complete list of food booths and bands, go to pigoutinthepark.com. August 30th through September 4th, it's the 42nd Annual Pig Out in the Park. You'll never eat it all.
Summer means the great outdoors, but it's also wildfire season. How are you going to cope with smoke from wildfires? 1. When it's smoky, check current air quality. 2. Limit or avoid time outdoors. And 3. Keep indoor air as clean as possible. Replace home air filters as often as needed and use the best filter for your system. Set the air conditioner to the recirculate mode. If necessary, find a cleaner air shelter near you. For the latest information about wildfires and smoke, visit the Washington Smoke blog, wasmoke.blogspot.com.
At Fred Meyer, everyone wins when it comes to savings because you get the same great prices, deals, and rewards on pickup or delivery as you do in store. So no matter how you shop, everyone saves big. Fred Meyer, fresh for everyone.
4 News Now is brought to you by Skelton's Carpet One, Lewiston.
So many people were forced to leave their homes this week because of the wildfires. In stressful evacuation situations, you may not remember or have time to grab all of your essential items, including medications. But the Red Cross says they can help. Right now, there are Red Cross shelters set up for both Gray Fire and Oregon Road Fire survivors. Medical teams say at one point they had close to 150 patients they were caring for that needed services ranging from wound treatment to getting wheelchairs. If you left behind valuable medications, the Red Cross team of volunteer doctors and nurses will work with your primary provider and local pharmacies to get those refilled and in your hands. Volunteers say in a state of chaos, they can be a safe place for people to go.
You know, they're in shock. They've had to be evacuated. They don't know if their homes, their trailers, their property is still standing. They don't know if their animals are alive or dead. And so, yeah, I think that we provide a safety net for them.
And those volunteers say all of their supplies have come through community donations. The Red Cross is not accepting any more physical donations, but if you'd like to help, they are still accepting monetary donations.
It was a cool day today. We topped out at 65 degrees. 82 is our average high. And this is the first time we have been in the 60s since June 21st. So it has been a while. But here's something interesting. Our temperature tomorrow, 77 degrees, will be the first time we've been in the 70s since June 22nd. We have had no 60s or 70s since that third week of June. So 77 tomorrow. This white line is, or it's a black line, excuse me. Black line is our average high. 82 tomorrow, and we'll be up to 82 on Thursday. So right about average before we go well above. A couple of 90s on our way for Sunday and Monday before we cool back down to 82 next week. So far, we've had 25 days where we've hit 90 degrees or higher, including 2 triple-digit days in Spokane. Not a remarkably warm summer, but running a little bit above average. Fantastic pick of the night tonight. This one made me smile. This is from John Olsufka, and this praying mantis joined him at Avista Stadium to watch the Indians game and sat there for the whole game. And what a delightful little Indians fan there. And I double-checked. The Indians did win. And you know, we're baseball fans. Kirsten, very superstitious. Obviously, we need to make sure that praying mantis is there.
That's right.
For this next homestand, because he's lucky.
That's his seat. Yes.
So, John, make sure you find that praying mantis and take him with you next time.
He's just so cute.
Isn't that adorable?
I could look at that all night. That's adorable.
Just watching the game.
He is. He's busy. Thanks, Chris. Firefighters have been put through some extremely stressful situations in their careers and can be away from home for long periods of time, which can take a toll on their mental health. That's why Spokane Fire District 8 brought in Pierce the therapy dog to meet some of the brave men and women battling the gray fire. Pierce is trained to help relieve some of the anxiety and stress firefighters are feeling while on the front lines. The Seattle Seahawks could be without one of their key players for the start of the season. The latest on the injury to their rookie wide receiver, next in sports.
Download the 4 News Now app today.
Live with Kelly and Mark. New season starts September 5th.
It's a new spin on Dancing with the Stars. Coming this fall to ABC, Disney Plus, and Hulu.
Set summer in motion with the most electrifying Honda vehicles yet. Like the CR-V and the Accord, both with available hybrid powertrains. Designed to deliver more thrilling performance and more innovative tech. Make every adventure more electrifying with Honda, the most awarded brand in Car and Driver 10 Best history. Buy online, reserve from select dealers, or visit your local Honda dealer today.
What's good about River Ridge Hardware and how we stand out as a neighborhood hardware store, when a customer comes in, it's our opportunity to help them with whatever project they're doing, whether it's painting or building something new. We truly want to help you. What makes Peter's Hardware Store stand out in the neighborhood is it is eclectic type hardware store since 1934. And yes, we're the oldest working hardware store in Spokane. It's really a fun place to visit.
Winning a new Yukon Denali at Northern Quest is easy. Sending your other car to live on a farm upstate? Well, you'll get over it. The $116,000 Yukon Rush giveaway, now through September 29th at Northern Quest. Play daily with your Camus Rewards card to enter, and enter our Super Sevens giveaway this month for a shot at over $77 grand. Details at northernquest.com.
Well, the season hasn't even started yet, and Gonzaga basketball is already getting ready for next year. Welcome into sports. I'm Julian Minitso. The Bulldogs are set to have some tough matchups this season and next season. According to college basketball insider John Rothstein, Gonzaga will be part of the 2024 Battle for Atlantis tournament in the Bahamas. And this is a big one. Along with Gonzaga, the field includes Louisville, West Virginia, Creighton, and Arizona. And this could set up a matchup between Mark Few and former Gonzaga assistant coach Tommy Lloyd, who is now Arizona's head coach. This is the full list of teams expected to play in the Battle for Atlantis in 2024. The Bulldogs last played in this tournament in 2019, losing to Michigan in the championship game. The Seattle Seahawks could be without one of its brightest young stars to start the season. Rookie wide receiver Jackson Smith-Njigba underwent hand surgery today. Smith-Njigba fractured his wrist in this play right here during the Seahawks preseason game against the Dallas Cowboys over the weekend. Smith-Njigba is expected to miss 3 to 4 weeks. The team is hoping he could return to Seattle for the start of the season.
He's with a hand specialist, got a slight fracture that we just want to make sure that we do the right thing to ensure that he gets back as soon as possible and as safe as possible. We're going to be optimistic about it. 3-4 weeks, we'll see what happens.
And the Seahawks will take on the Green Bay Packers in their final preseason game. Kickoff is at 10 a.m. on Saturday from Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. Washington State quarterback Cameron Ward was named to the Johnny Unitas Golden Arm Award watch list. The Golden Arm Award is given to the top senior or upperclassman quarterback in the entire country. Ward was an All-Pac-12 honorable mention last season. He started in every game for the Cougars, throwing 23 touchdowns. Ward will be the starter in Week 1 when the Cougars take on Colorado State on September 2nd. And the Cougars, they also have some history with this Golden Arm Award. Former Washington State quarterback Gardner Minshew won the honor in 2018. Well, all is right in Mariners land. Seattle is the hottest team in baseball, winning 7 straight games heading into tonight. The Mariners were looking to stay that way in the final spot in the American League playoff, taking on the Chicago White Sox. Seattle, well, they were doing some damage early on in the second inning. Mike Ford and company, they were going to do their thing. They would ultimately tie the game in the early going. J.P. Crawford, they got a single to take the lead and ultimately push the lead right here. Here is Mike Ford right now. With the single into right field, that ties the game at 1 apiece in the early going. Now we're going to stay in the second inning. It'll be the Mariners up once again, and this time it's J.P. Crawford breaks the tie with an RBI single of his own to make it 2-1 Seattle. Now to the fourth inning we go. Seattle will add to the lead. It'll be Javier Rojas. And all season long, when the Mariners hit home runs, they get a home run trident. Give him the home run trident right here. Mariners push the lead to 4-1 over Chicago. And the Mariners, they wanted more after that. Ultimately, they would score 6 runs in the game, and the Mariners would go on to win a season-high 8th game in a row. They sit a game ahead of the Toronto Blue Jays for the final spot in the playoffs in the American League. And we are launching a sports newsletter called The Playbook every Monday starting next week. I'll give you an inside look at Gonzaga, Washington State, and the pressing sports topics of today. This will include stories and perspective from on and off the field of play. You could sign up for The Playbook. Just head over to the sports page at KXLY.com. Sign up and stay in the game. That'll wrap us up for sports.
Stream 4 News now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app.
Make your hard-earned dollars go further during the Labor Day sale at Furniture Row. Shop today, because the more you buy, the more you save. Save $100 on every $1,000 you spend, plus 4 years, no interest. The Labor Day sale, on now at Furniture Row.
At 4 News Now, we believe you should expect more from local news. Our team is committed to a community conversation and bringing you information you need when and where you need it. Numerica believes in and supports that mission.
If your checking account isn't earning you money, it's time to switch to bonus checking from Numerica. The account that earns an incredible 2% annual percentage yield. That could earn you up to $500 every year or more.
Scorched thousands of acres, leaving destruction and heartbreak behind.
My house should be gone. The house behind it is gone.
The flames were on the road, and all of a sudden, it turned black.
92.9 CCU.
Beat the heat. Always water before 10 a.m. or after 6 p.m.
At Kaiser Permanente, we care for all those who make your family, well, your family. That's why all of us work together to give them the care and caring that any family would. Kaiser Permanente, for all that is you.
My advice to all the fathers out there, they grow up way too fast for you to waste even a single precious moment.
It's the Labor Day sale at Denver Mattress. And right now, the more you buy, the more you save. Take $100 off every $1,000 you spend. Save up to $300 on our Denver Mattress brand lineup, plus 4 years no interest and free shipping. The Labor Day sale, on now at Denver Mattress.
See breaking news in your area or have a story idea? Contact 4 News Now.
Sunny on Wednesday with a high temperature of 77. We jump into the 80s Thursday, and we have 90s as well. Boy, we're going to hit all the numbers this week after the 60s today. Slight chance of showers Friday. I don't think we're going to have a good soaking rain like we had today for a while, but boy, we really needed it. The weather delivered.
Yes. And I like that you reminded us that it's been a while since we felt 60s and 70s.
Yes. Mid-June.
We are still in the summer. I mean, makes sense.
Won't be here for long.
No. We're all trying to channel our PSLs. Did you get your PSL yet?
I did not.
Your favorite?
No.